As we mentioned last week, we were recently out in the Pacific Northwest to take in the sights and sounds of the Wheat Export and Marketing Workshop, which was hosted by the Wheat Marketing Center in Portland, Oregon. The two-day event was chock full of lessons and experiences, and those in attendance came away from their time there with a fresh appreciation for the many facets of wheat marketing and exporting. From the Wheat Marketing Center to a USDA inspection facility and shipping ports, there was a lot to fit in for the 2 days of excursions through and around Portland. Participants of this year's workshop agreed that it was not only a fun experience, but also highly educational. That educational aspect is what makes organizing trips like this important to the folks at the Nebraska Wheat Board.
So the Nebraska Wheat Board likes to send out these people to this trip, whether it's a new hire like myself or Taylor or a new board member, producer, anybody, so they can see what happens with wheat once it leaves the farm or the elevator and kind of give like a full perspective of what Nebraska wheat's really doing on a larger scale.
One of the participants of the workshop was Colby Reason. Colby shared his top highlights of the trip with us as we wrapped up our final day in Portland.
Thoroughly enjoyed the Marseille baking company this morning. We ate very well. I always enjoy that. Moved on to that United Grain Terminal. Really got a kick out of that. 1930s built elevator on half of it. Kind of reminds me of home, but it has also been updated and is very impressive what they can do with that place and what everybody does down this up and down this river. But saw them loading a barge today, 2.2 million bushels, 7 to 8 trains. I just thoroughly enjoyed that.
Beyond these new and exciting experiences, as a grain merchandiser with Farmers Cooperative in Hemingford, Nebraska, Colby also found a new appreciation for many of the global importers of U.S. wheat.
Ship a lot of our wheat this way, it seems. Didn't realize the importance that this outreach program has to this Southeast Asia region. I don't know that I appreciated those customers enough before this trip, and it's very interesting to see how much thought is put into what these end users or where these customers are at and what their preferences are.
Another participant of the workshop was Doug Carlson. As a wheat producer from Chapel, Nebraska, he was very appreciative of the many educational aspects of the tour, and he said he was impressed with the research and development that takes place at the Wheat Marketing Center.
And it went from far above my head down at the analytical lab that we ended up at. That was very technical, and getting down to like the commercial bakery, that was very interesting. I liked the guy that ran the place. You could tell he was very passionate about his job, and I appreciated that he had some older equipment in there that was obviously loved and maintained well and worked perfectly, so I liked that. And I liked the lab at the first facility there, where they just mix different grades of wheat to do different things. I'm not really a baker myself, but I still could appreciate the nuances, I guess, of making different things. And then of course the production line was interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's always good to see the numbers where my product's going, and it's interesting to see how it can be mixed with wheat produced in other parts of the country to meet the desires of the buyer overseas.
The Nebraska Wheat Board's mission is to increase both domestic and foreign consumption of wheat and wheat food products through marketing and research, while also developing and maintaining both domestic and international export markets for Nebraska wheat producers. While this workshop was enjoyable for all who attended, the lessons learned at this event will also be invaluable for all those who participated.